Sugar and Spice.
Sugar and Spice.
And Everything Nice.
Everything Nice. They're twin sisters. They were done up for Halloween, so they have a little bit of blue.
Oh,
still
that's
in there.
why the blue. I was wondering.
They were thing 1 and thing 2.
Thing.
Some fantastic pictures on our Facebook page.
Okay.
And they really like the bunny.
That's so nice.
This is Cherry. I rescued her from the auction, actually.
Oh my.
She was one of many, and we were looking for a pet that, especially seniors and children who are afraid of larger animals, it's a starting point of comfort. And it's proven animals like this, especially when put in the laps of people with dementia and any sort of memory challenge, and it just kind of brings them back to that comfort zone, right?
Absolutely.
And the animal at the same time benefits from that love.
So it's a win-win situation.
It totally is.
Beautiful.
I mean, that's the ideal situation. Sometimes the animals, though, come from a traumatic place, like the donkeys, who are a little less social, right? So they're more sort of the kids on the playground that are less accepted. They're generally sort of sadder. So when people come who are perhaps sad or suffer from depression, you immediately see them identify with the donkeys.
Interesting.
Yeah. And similarly, children, for example, who may be more hyper and might be more drawn to the more energetic or interesting animals. So sometimes, it's not necessarily a purposeful activity where you come out to, we're going to work with this animal. They all kind of come to you when they want to be
right, when
involved.
they want to be petted and such. Now, your mom was telling me the story about these two, how when they first came, they were silent.
Yeah.
For a while, and it's only in the last few months or last few weeks or so that they've actually started to express themselves.
Exactly, and they start talking now.
That means
they're ultimately more comfortable in their new home.
Exactly. So it's kind of like people as
Definitely.
well, the same kind of thing.
Exactly. This is like a mini playground setting. It's really cool to watch the dynamics of the animals.
Wow.
And look, Peaches, our young one, is like a young toddler, so she's curious with the
about
camera.
Everything.
And sheep are generally just slightly more timid and a little sort of sweeter. I don't want to say, because I love goats too, but people are drawn to the cuteness more of the sheep.
Wow.
And from the sheep we learn, lots of things. Right now, patience. Peaches, for example, is bullied by the two goats.
By Sugar and Spice.
The Sugar and Spice. We have a young man who comes, and he just comes to hug. He just loves hugging Buddy.
That's lovely.
So for him, it's, what he looks forward to. It's his healing time,
Wow.
And on top of that, the sense of responsibility. So the care for the animals is a huge part of the activities here too. So it's not a petting zoo.
Exactly.
This is animal interactions and appreciation for why they're here, and they're usually here because they're unwanted in some other aspect.
And so that's the whole therapy piece.
Yeah.
Hence
exactly.
the Arion therapeutic.
Yeah.
Okay, so what inspired you to even do any of this?
Well, there was this really neat place in Bermuda where I grew up. It was called Windreach Farm, and they had a similar concept where they had sort of a petting section with small farm animals and a therapeutic riding facility that was attached to it and operated within it. And for me as a former equestrian, it just seemed sort of a natural next step in my life, moving to Canada, sort of starting afresh as a family in 2006. We were looking to do that, to get back to basics and nature and animals, and asked my mom. I always wanted to have everything.
Okay.
So
now you do.
In Bermuda, you didn't have the opportunity to have land, so it was
it's a
very
small
difficult
island.
to keep a horse. Very expensive, and so we kind of put it on the back burner in my younger years with the children, and then when we moved here, we were able to do that. So that's kind of how it started, was therapeutic riding, was sort of the model, and based on the same concept that Windreach had. Fanny has a boot on. Fanny's
she the one with the foot infection?
She had a poor abscess.
Are you getting more animals?
We'd love to get more animals. We'd love to get more animals. And
I
never
knew that
turn
was
them
going to
away.
be the answer.
I never turn them away. Ask Mom, I'm
That's
always
amazing.
acquiring animals. But
Right.
the challenge, of course, is housing.
Exactly.
And we are working on that. Part of our master plan includes, nicer animal habitats where our
Okay.
visitors will have more accessible spaces to be able to get close.
All these fantastic programs that you have here.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about some of that.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what's interesting in the beginning, Aryan Therapeutic Riding Association, the registered charity, ran about a dozen different programs here. And fast forward now 7 years into our operation, we realized that in actuality, for us to try to fund and run programs and run a farm facility was just too challenging. So we moved on to this model whereby we flipped it around and we opened up all of our spaces to everyone. We were finding people just wanted to come here to see the animals. Whether they were a senior coming with a group home, wanting to have afternoon tea and just touch or stroke a bunny, or to interact or feed one of the llamas. It could be a child with autism wanting to come and just spend some time in our playground and run around and be who they are and not feel ostracized in community.
Exactly.
So this new concept is like that. So anybody can come. It's much like a park. You can come with somebody who supports you. You can come as a family and have a picnic. You could rent a space and run a workshop. Then all these programs are run by others. So the beauty of it, it takes the competition out and it gives access to everyone. So if I have a behavior consultant, I have a speech therapist, they're all renting and using spaces. I have clients who are members and they come with multiple people because they don't live in a traditional home setting. And it's the one place they can come and work and be purposeful. And then I have groups like the Boys and Girls Club. And they've booked weekly outings and we've given them a farm educational experience. So it's not just come and pet a goat. No, we're learning about where our food comes from. Did you know that field there only grows enough to serve 15 horses? How much land it takes to serve these animals and the cost to maintain them. When they're little, we teach them about seeds and how things grow. So when they're coming here, it's not just about, oh, it's just playtime. No, we make it fun. It's always fun to see the animals. And for some, they never see animals.
Exactly, but it's educational
Yeah.
at the same time and therapeutic. And
Exactly.
all of these combined into one. And you talked about, we talked about before the community aspect of it, and I
Yeah.
see how it all just comes
If
together.
you come on any given day,
Yeah.
Bev, there's so many different things. Like for example, an average morning I walk in the center and there's a young man strumming his guitar. He's largely nonverbal and he's doing online school. And because he's a member, he can use any of the spaces and he likes to be able to move around. So sometimes he'll go down to the barn, he might come out and visit the goats. Enter another boy who comes in and he's also completely different demographic and he's looking to get his life back on track. And he's doing life skill cooking. And that's part of his online school program.
Wow.
So he's learning and teaching, and the young man beside him who didn't have friends now has built-in community. Then in walks mom, and then they go down for a riding lesson. In walks another group of people with a whole nother plan of the day. So then it's sort of therapy mode, or it's onto an art class. We've had wood carving workshops.
Excellent.
There's no limit really. It's, if you think of it in terms of spaces, it's just really effective use, maximizing of small spaces.
Perfect.
For this next year, we really like to get on top of our facility. Our goal is to improve our animal infrastructure, have proper habitats to support them. So we're looking now for some corporate support. What's nice about our model is we're not just a nonprofit. We are a nonprofit entity, but we're actually a social enterprise. And we have numerous charities operating within our facility.
Great.
So it is more charitable in nature than it ever was. But the really, really neat thing about the way it can grow and expand is the more people that become a part of the community doesn't need to cost. It's just using and sharing of spaces. And the more volunteer opportunities that present in terms of work, the more people that will benefit. And then the farm will basically be self-sustainable.
I'm here with Austrian trained chef. Austrian, right? Yeah, Alois Sattler. Thank you so much for introducing us to this apple. What is it?
Butternut squash apple soup.
Awesome, awesome. It smells delicious, and I know it's going to be totally delicious. Tell me about this Austrian business. You learned to be a chef in Austria.
Yeah. Well, after I finished high school, I wanted to take up chefing, and people used to laugh at it because this is a lady's job, you know. But I stuck it out, and now I'm a retired chef.
This apple butternut squash soup, it sounds delicious. Let's talk about the ingredients.
Okay. As a matter of fact, it is delicious.
I'm pretty sure.
We use butternut squash, and I already prepared it so that we don't have to peel it. And carrot wheels, peeled carrots, and apples, and leek I already sliced. And the onion we're going to slice, and we have one garlic with it. And this is pretty well what we need. But we also will make a cashew cream. And it's all vegan.
Lovely.
It's all vegetarian, or, you know, there's no animal products in it.
Exactly. So plant-based.
Yes.
Plant strong.
Yes.
Wonderful.
And having been a chef all my life, I have always worked with animal products, and now I'm working with just vegetables and plant-based food, and it is delicious. You get to taste it afterwards.
Yay!
Okay.
Fabulous. Butternut squash. Squash is delicious, but it's also really nutritious. Why do you like working with it?
Well, it is, like you said, nutritious because it's got a lot of vitamins and antioxidants in it, but it is flat tasting, so you need to spruce it up with apples.
Yes.
And that we have here.
Right.
And then, but you can also use pumpkin.
Any of the squashes?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
But like I said, they are flat tasting, so you have to spruce it up. And here we go. We have also a vegetable bouillon that we use to stretch the puree.
Right, yeah.
And then at the end we finish it with the cream. Coconut oil is also plant, of course. In recipes it calls for butter or oil and cream. We use only plant-based oils.
Smash that garlic.
Yes.
Okay.
And take the peel off.
And smashing it releases all of that good stuff that's inside the garlic.
Yeah, it also pops the peel, and you can take it off easy.
Oh, very, very good. That's a good tip.
Okay,
so you've got that. I'm going to bring the pot on over so that you can just put those inside there.
Yeah, right in below here.
Okay.
And we just
push that all in.
Yes.
Great.
Okay.
But not the leeks as yet?
Yeah, no, first we glaze the onions. You just take the sting out of them, and then you put the leeks in it. Squash and carrots. It also looks nice, the colors, the green and the red and the yellow. Now we add the vegetable broth. Now it can simmer until it is soft. And the finished product looks something like this here. So this is with a little bit of curry, and now the apples go in.
Okay. And it's bubbling away, and it smells so good.
Yes.
And that curry really just kind of gives it a little lift there.
Picks it up, yes.
Yeah, kicks it up a notch. I'm here with Mariana Sattler, and back in 2012, Mariana experienced something in her health that changed her whole life, and we're going to talk about that right now. So Mariana, what was it that happened in 2012 that just changed your whole life?
In
2012, unexpectedly, I experienced a heart attack. A third of my heart died, and they had to bring me to Kelowna, and they put 2 stents in and lots of medication I had to take.
Wow.
So I was sad that happened. Never a smoker, not alcohol, nothing, but too much cheese.
Too much cheese.
Yeah, too
That'll
much
do
cheese.
it.
As a Swissie, you need cheese.
That's right. You are from Switzerland.
Yeah.
Okay. So then after that, I mean, I can imagine that, you know, you said you were sad. You must have been wondering, what am I going to do?
Yes, absolutely.
Need to make some changes.
Yeah, you need to make lots of changes. First, you feel very tired and you feel old and you feel sad that happened. And but then came some news.
Oh, what was the news?
I came and visit our son and family, went to church with them, and a friend of them gave me a brochure. And he said, Mariana, that's the thing which you have to look into it. So I read the brochure, and it was introduction for a CHIP program.
A CHIP program.
I had no idea what it is, but I was anxious to learn about.
Wonderful.
So
And
I
you and your husband, Alois,
Yeah.
ended up going to that CHIP program
Yes, in 14.
in 2014. What did you learn?
Oh, I learned so much. It was amazing. I learned that I can lower the intake of my medication, which I did not like but needed to take. And I also learned about the diabetes, about the heart disease, cancer prevention, and so on.
Wonderful.
So I thought, well, let's see. Here I was introduced to vegan and
Plant-based.
plant-based.
Right.
And because I love vegetable anyway, I was very interested.
Oh, fantastic.
So we started to cook vegan. We learned that here at that program.
Yes.
Ruth and Bev was excellent to show us what we can do. My husband being a chef, but always cooked with meat and all the butter and all the cheese, changed, and we started to be very much involved to eat vegan and to walk lots.
To walk lots.
Yeah.
I think you probably...
With the sticks, you
Yes,
know.
excellent.
And we walked at least an hour, brisk walk.
Every day.
Yes,
Wow.
and it took me a little bit longer to get used to it because the heart wasn't trained yet.
Right.
But before I knew, I felt so happy that I could do all that.
Oh, that's amazing. Your heart was getting stronger.
Stronger?
Your husband, this Austrian-trained chef,
Yes.
is in the kitchen right now making a really yummy smelling soup. It must have been really good, both of you going to the program, because
Yeah.
you learned the same things together. You learned how to eat, you know, together.
Yes.
And so now you're in the kitchen, you can do all these things together.
Yeah. And we
yeah.
do. We would not go back for other food anymore because I proved myself how wonderful it is. And I mean, to have 10 milligram cholesterol pill or the 80 is a big difference. And when I had to go to the specialist, and he said, well, you have to stay with the 80. And then when I proved them different, he said, whatever you do, stay with it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Congratulations on that.
Yeah.
That's really excellent. So now tell me, what are some of your new favorite foods? You used to love cheese.
That was the hardest to give up my cheese.
A lot of people say that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was very hard. But I'm used to it. And the butter, of course. And I take now coconut oil
Yes.
onto the toast. I love the curry lentil.
Oh, the lentil
On
curry.
the brown rice, that's
Yes.
one of my favorite. I like all the vegetable. I like a big plate of different vegetable or salads. And of course the soups which my husband makes. He makes delicious
Well,
vegan soup.
you're pretty blessed having a chef as a husband.
Yes, I am. The whole part is I also love to cook.
That's
but now
fabulous.
we cook the same. Before it was my cooking the Swiss way and his the other way. Now we don't have any problem anymore. Now we can cook together. We would cook vegan.
That's
It's
perfect.
much better, yeah.
That is perfect.
Yeah.
So the CHIP program was worth it.
Yes, yes, it was worth it. I hope lots of people will join. I also hope those who join that they stick with it.
It's easy to fall off the wagon.
It is, it is.
But as long as you have the knowledge to get back up,
Yes.
it's okay, you know.
In the beginning, I had hard time to give up the cheese, so I fell off the wagon with the cheese. But I knew when I like to keep the 10% milligram, I better stay away.
Right.
And the only thing which I still have a hard time, I love a cup of coffee a day. And I should get rid of that one too. One of these days. That takes a
Right.
little bit longer, I guess.
Well, you know what? I like to tell people it's a journey.
It is.
It's a journey of health, and you know, when you learn something, you stop that, and you know, it's a journey. So yeah, we have to be kind to ourselves.
But it's
on
a
this
good
journey.
journey.
It's a delicious journey.
Yes, actually it is. Yeah.
And so nutritious. Thank you so much for sharing all of this great information with us. What would you tell people out there who are on their medications and all that, and they don't think they can get off of those medications?
I would say you can get off.
Yes.
I'm a proof of it. You can get off. You just have to stick with it. Fall off the wagon, yeah, but not that often. You better stick with it. And also do exercise, bicycling, walking. That's very, very important too. I feel much more, how should I say, I feel happier.
Oh, fabulous.
I feel more on the go than for many years. I always was like that as a young person.
Right.
But I slowed down because of the preparation of my heart attack, I guess. And now I feel much younger again.
And you look fabulous.
Thanks. With 71, it's not too shabby.
Oh, you look fabulous.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Thanks. I'm very, very happy. I'm thankful that I was introduced to it, and I hope many, many will experience the same.
So, Alois, you're going to make a cream, but you're going to make it in my favorite blender in the entire world, which is a
Vitamix. And you were the one that inspired me to buy one, and I must say it's fantastic.
Oh, glad.
It makes this cashew cream so smooth. It replaces actually the cream that you usually use, which is a 10% in the soup.
Okay.
So what we do is this here now, we put the nuts in there that have been soaked overnight in water.
That makes them nice and soft. And
Yes. And then you drain the water, and like you see, we fill it up now with water so that it is covered to the top. Okay. We start her up.
Yeah. And then we put the horses in.
Now let's see
Excellent.
whether it turned out. Oh yes.
To be creamy.
It looks nice and creamy.
Yeah.
It's all liquid now, and it replaces the 10% cream. Now this is the finished product, and it is nice and creamy. There's no lumps in there at all.
Beautiful.
And this is what goes on the soup afterwards.
Oh, that's going to be so yummy.
With a little bit of parsley.
Oh, great. It's totally plant-based.
Yes.
You know, so it doesn't have all the saturated fats and the cholesterol. It will have some fat, absolutely, because it's a nut, but it's a much healthier fat for you.
Yeah. Okay, now we're going to see whether it turned out. Good. Okay, now I guess since I approved the taste,
Yes, I can't wait to approve it myself.
it is up to you to tell me whether it is edible.
Oh, I got a heart. And then the sprinkling.
And then we put a little sprinkle on top.
Oh my.
Well, Beverly, there it is.
Oh.
You get to taste it.
Amazing. Thank you very much.
Now,
And I
when
love
you-
that heart.
When you stir it around,
stir it
it'll be
around?
a swirl.
Oh.
Now, have a look at this.
Oh, look at that beauty. Beautiful, beautiful, rich, fragrant.
Yeah, and that is
Okay.
all plant-based.
Oh, I'm going to try it. Comfort.
You can taste the apples, you can taste the curry, and you can taste also the parsley in it.
That is flavorful. There's a whole lot of flavors. Just,
Carrots, onions, and garlic.
oh, that's a harvest soup.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and it's
Okay.
totally delicious. And that lovely cashew cream just tops it off.
Yeah, it makes it
beautifully.
creamy. In
Love
a
it.
conventional recipe, you use a 10% cream, but we use cashew cream because it's all plant-based.
Absolutely delicious.
Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.